We are Group 3F and we are discussing the role of business in society. First, we will talk about the importance of business ethics. Corporate social responsibility is an important ethical behaviour that businesses should adopt for a number of benefits. Social responsibility is rewarding not only for the organisations which practice it, but also for the stakeholders and wider society. Operating ethically can come at an extra cost, however in the long term it is hugely rewarded. Adopting a fair wage scheme brings an added cost to the organisation, however it benefits the employees and gains the business a respected image whilst retaining high quality staff. Another aspect which should be considered is providing safe and quality working conditions. This can result in an increase in productivity as employees feel better motivated.
Ethical behaviour also involves being environmentally aware. This is evidently beneficial to the environment. For example, organisations working towards being more energy efficient, reducing waste, or promoting eco-friendly behaviour. In turn, this benefits the company, as there is a notable increase in the eco-consumer who will favour a product or service which endorses environmentally friendly practices over a company which chooses not to. However, one disadvantage of having a CSR policy is that the company will come under close scrutiny from external forces to ensure they are following the correct procedures that they have claimed in their policy. Another disadvantage the company may face is they would have to reject some possibly prosperous offers if the objectives don't abide by their moral standards.
Some examples of poor use of CSR are Apple and Primark, which have previously been ridiculed for the poor treatment of their workers. There has been an ongoing issue with CSR within Apple in response to this. Many of the issues come from factories in developing countries, which have been branded sweatshops due to their unsafe, inhumane and unhygienic conditions. Suicide nets have also been put in place in certain factories, as suicide rates have risen in recent years because of the deteriorating conditions they have to work in. Primark is another example of a business showing poor CSR. In 2013, the Rana Plaza building collapsed in Bangladesh. This is where thousands of Primark sweatshop workers spent the majority of their days. The gross neglect of the GAM building resulted in a death toll of 1,129 and over 2,500 non-fatal injuries. Although being warned of the problems with the structural integrity of the building, the company ignored these claims due to the cost that would be involved in closing down the vicinity.
Freeman defines a stakeholder as any person or organization who can be positively or negatively impacted by or cause an impact on the actions of a company. Stakeholders include government, employees, customers, media, banks, shareholders, and many more others. However, not all the stakeholders stand on the same level at a company, as interest and power varies from low to high. Companies exist for the profit maximization for the shareholders, but they also need to serve the interests of other stakeholders. Freeman said that the firm should maximize profit, but they should follow the constraints of law and ethics. However, lots of firms get it wrong and they depend too much on the wealth maximization while ignoring other important stakeholders' interests.
Customers constantly influence the way that businesses operate, and their interest as stakeholders can impact how successful the business will be. They expect businesses to operate ethically and be socially responsible by recycling their waste, providing a decent wage for their workers, and giving back to charities. However, realistically, this cannot always be obtained. Being socially responsible is not always viable, and conflict of interest between stakeholders can often occur. For example, owners and shareholders want to make as much profit as possible and expect to receive a return on their investments. They also want to reduce their costs wherever they can, but employees want good working conditions and a high wage for their labour. The government also want businesses to help local communities by providing jobs and reducing unemployment. So businesses need to try and set realistic expectations and targets that they want to achieve and meet so they can satisfy all stakeholders while demonstrating excellent social responsibility. This can also be incredibly expensive for businesses, and it requires them to fully invest their time, effort and money into a concrete, sustainable business plan that can be communicated to all of their internal and external stakeholders and fulfilling their role in society.
Globalisation is the process of collaborating and bringing together the customers, businesses and governments of a variety of different nations and helping to expand a company's operations by gaining access to a wider customer base. The main benefit to businesses of globalisation is the accessibility to larger markets. Businesses now see the world as their market and can therefore tailor their goods and services to meet the needs and wants of the global market rather than the local one, therefore helping to increase their sales and profits massively. However, globalisation is becoming increasingly controversial due to the conflicting opinions of businesses and environmentalists. This is due to the debates between businesses trying to find a balance between maximising their own profits and using socially responsible suppliers and their own business ethics, which are more than expected of modern day consumers. Therefore, consumers are more likely to purchase and trade with a company that advertises their own CSR policy rather than one that exploits workers and businesses in less developed countries through their dominant stance as a cause of globalisation.